Amnesty Day on May 23rd. Village residents are allowed to take that, correct? I want to make sure everyone out there knows that.
Their township.
I just want to make sure everybody knows that. I'd like to see the number of people that participate from the village in that, just to see if it's truly needed, because that would give us, again, more data.
I can give you
Everybody's
a,
got
what was
tires
that?
to get rid of in the village.
But it still gives you something to see how many people are actually going on and taking advantage of it, just so we have a snapshot, so we have a little bit more information to work with. Sam,
You sent out flyers.
they did send out flyers, so that was the township. Susie?
I'd like to comment on that. You participated in the Banks Township cleanup day up there, and if you're on the tax roll, then they check you off regarding township. and-
Okay, good, thank you,
I will have a comment on that for you, Rob,
thank you.
for village, because I'll be there.
Reiterate, the auditor was here on Monday, they completed their work today. And, the report is forthcoming. So I asked if we were going bankrupt, and they said no, we were in pretty good shape. So in that respect, I think we're okay for at least another year. The judge approved the procedure to have the two parties that claimed interest in the property on the north end of Intermediate Lake. And I thought that was the end of it, but that was not the end of it. The paperwork had to go down to Mr. and Mrs. Rushton, who were the two parties that had interest. And they have said that they will sign those documents and come back. When they do that, they get taken to the judge, and then they'll grant us the title to the property. So, it's 30 days, I don't know, it might be 2 weeks, but at some point, then we should be able to proceed with our grant, so.
So we're physically just waiting for them to make a signature and they mail it or
Those
deliver
documents were
packages?
sent today, so the judge reviewed them on Monday, and they went out today. And as soon as they sign and send them back, then they can take that back to the judge, and he can say, okay, and that's our property. So we should be able to proceed with the grant. We're having a brush cleanup. I think that's also under old business, which is the first week of June. And Sam and the boys are supposed to be out, I think, on the 2nd of June, which is Monday. And then they come through for the week and pick them up, who's ever got a brush pile out there. So it's
Where
just
you want,
brush
down by
pile,
the
it's
road
not
or
junk.
something?
Down by the road where they can get it.
Sam's requirements are,
Same rules as last time.
yep, we'll have it
Review,
posted with a
please.
6 foot, no more than 6 foot length, 6 inch diameter, or
4 inch diameter.
4 inch diameter, stacked in corresponding piles so they can take them out all in the same
That
direction.
was June 2nd?
First week of June.
I'm sure
First
we'll
week.
we'll get a lot of notices
We
out
don't have
about
a
that.
date yet, just setting the
Very
week.
First week of June
Okay.
is what I was told,
Okay.
so whatever the dates
That's
are.
what we did it last year, I believe, at the same time.
Cool.
So that can be the day that we're gonna be doing it, so we know that, because I'm gonna be out of town, but I'm just saying, 2 weeks notice, are we gonna have more notice next time, when this is gonna happen? Sometimes people have something planned already, you know what I'm saying? I'm leaving town for a couple weeks.
Well, get it ready now.
Okay, there is, by the end of the month, if there's no more payments, there's 21 delinquent water accounts totaling $6,292.32 that'll be turned over to the county. They have to be added to the tax rolls unless somebody comes in and pays prior to the end of the month, so. We talked about the 3.75 acres behind the round church, so I don't need to do that again. So that's my report, unless somebody has some questions for me. The approval for the bills, prepaid to $13,865.75, payroll of $54,2825, payables $29,005.29. a total of $48,299.29. Any discussion? Have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Bodley, support by Chapman. No further discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Bobby,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yep.
Zollner,
Yes.
Becker.
Yes. Under new business, there was a packet in your packet that dealt with the Freedom of Information Act, procedures and guidelines. We're here to talk about it tonight, make any changes if anybody had any, and it'd be an action item for next meeting in June. Anybody have any questions or
I'm
comments?
looking at this is state implemented, if I'm correct, it's now the new guidelines that the state says we have to have, so it's not something we're inventing the wheel on or anything, this is all state required.
Is this from the state or did we generate this?
I generated all of it.
This?
Yes,
Okay.
this was from an example that they sent me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just tailored to central officer.
Okay.
Nobody has any questions or comments with respect to this, I'm going to assume
We'll see it next month.
we'll see it next month under action.
Yeah, I thought good, I thought it was very well done, so.
Okay, there's two ordinances that we have prepared, not under action with respect to chickens. Since last month, we've received another petition that added turkeys and ducks to it.
Can I correct you? It wasn't added, it was combined at the first presenting. So turkeys and ducks was included in the original petition.
Since last meeting, I've discovered that Bel Air has one, Elk Rapids has one, and Traverse City has one. So in my infinite wisdom, I said we're not any different than those communities. And I figured that we could come up with something that would be acceptable. I still have a little problem expanding it because I think that's the whole issue, is if we allow one, somewhere down the road, somebody's gonna want something more. And even on the petition that was submitted tonight, somebody wrote in there, can we have pigs too? I mean, we live in a community and we have to respect each other as neighbors. And I'm sure that there is a propensity for things to not be kept under a sanitary way if we allow all kinds of animals into town. We have a few wild animals that come into town already, turkeys being one of them. And I still have a concern that if a whole bunch of people took advantage of this ordinance, that we would see other critters come into town to take advantage of that as well. Coyotes primarily is what's on my mind, but.
I've got a chicken farm by my house right now, and I don't have it in their grazing. So they're all over the township there on the corner of M88. They've been there for 3 years now. The only thing I've seen is chicken hogs. But the garbage behind my house now, that's offensive.
Any questions or comments with respect to the ordinances that have been prepared?
The only thing I would like to see us do is, we've only been approached by people who want it. We haven't really opened the door and had a public forum for the people who don't. And so I would like to see us have a public hearing or, just a public time before the meeting next month, to get it out there and tell them, come talk to us. If you don't want to come, state your opinions, that's all.
Joe, I just disagree with that. I mean, this has been talked about since 2013 on the Facebook group. So it's been out there for years now. So anybody that's opposed to it, they've known about
We're just now putting this out here. Nobody knows that, really, that there is an ordinance sitting in front of us unless they're here or read the agenda. So before we try to pass one, I think we should open the door for public comment for just that.
Can I say something, please? I am personally, I called up Larry one day and asked him if it was possible to get chickens, because I wanted to get 3 or 4 chickens. My neighbors aren't going to be affected if I have 3 or 4 chickens, because they're going to be in a small little area that stay penned up, and I don't see why, if people don't want them, they don't have to get them, but I don't understand why you would take into account, especially on chickens. Now, I don't know about I'm not gonna say about the other animals, but if my neighbor doesn't want to have chickens, I'm not asking him to have chickens. I'm the one that would be responsible for them. They would be in a small area. Chickens are,
Ain't no different than an animal, because I got cousins that take chickens like animals.
they're less problems than dogs.
I just, like, right now, it's on, it's an ordinance that does not allow it. And if we're gonna look at changing that ordinance, I think we should have public opinion on it.
Well, why don't we post the ordinance to the website and let people look at it at least that way for 30 days, so that when we come here next month, the public will have had a real opportunity to actually read
And
the
then I
ordinance.
guess we could do that. I just think we need to give them the opportunity to come in also. That's all I'm saying.
It does state no roosters, I assume,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they are the problem.
Rachel, I just have a couple typos in the number 4. We gotta fix the goat and the pig and the duck there.
Oh.
How many Central Lake signatures, village people do you have? Because you stated in 2013 you would come before the board and we had asked you to get 80 signatures, that would be 10% of 800.
Actually, I did not,
Somebody did.
I did
It
not
was-
state that. Another person
I didn't say it was you, I said somebody stated.
started the petition in 2013, and all of a sudden, a chicken ordinance was rushed through the former village administration. So, there was no public hearing then about it, it was just rushed
It's
right
always
through.
been on the books. It's been there since the ordinance
Not
started.
according to the information I have.
Yeah, it's been on there.
Like I said, we've got, as of today, 70 village residents that I can answer concern.
So you have 70? Okay.
Well, they-
Well,
Just
and if
under
the ordinance
10%.
gets online and people know it, it could bring more or less. So
Yeah,
we
exactly.
might make
And that's what I'm
that
saying, that open
easy.
forum for everybody to have a thought.
So can we put this on the website
Is
like
that gonna be
tomorrow?
the procedure for
would
everything when
assume.
somebody approaches the village
As long
for
as we don't make
something?
it too mad.
Sounds that way.
I mean, we have the VFW hall here tonight, there's no public hearing on that for that piece of property up there.
You're not changing an ordinance.
Yeah, but still a piece of property.
It's a piece of property that affects the whole
Could be a
public of
business
village.
area.
We're on chicken ordinances here right now.
Well, yeah, but it's stating the same fact, I mean.
Wouldn't, I
you
get
know,
one comment,
police
you have a
are
brand new,
whatever.
wouldn't it be a good idea to pass it to the planning commission? You have a newly appointed planning commission, the people that wanted to
Well,
get
the planning
involved.
commission didn't help me out, so. I
Gary,
really
this
ain't got no
isn't about you
feeling
right
on
now,
that.
it's my comment. Wouldn't it be a good idea to pass it to the planning commission? I mean, is that what they're there for, I guess is what I'm saying? And-
It-
And let
it's
them
their
get the
job.
public input and bring back a recommendation to you.
I'm not
Who
sure,
oversights
I'm not
that?
sure that they're for the nuisance ordinances.
I don't know, it's just,
They're not there for that.
I don't think they're there for that, that's a different, we're here for the
I
nuisance
think
ordinance.
I would just be happy if the public could see this on the website for 30 days. It has, Janet Hickman, I think, was the one that brought it here a couple years ago. It's not new to anybody, but it's not ever been advertised by the village in any way either. So if we can put it on the Facebook or the
I
website,
think giving
so people
everybody
can
that
see it.
opportunity is all I'm
So-
trying to
So
say.
if you throw that on the web, also put it on the counties that do have it then. Put that for reference.
What's the difference, we have an approved ordinance number 3, I mean, one water run advisory, whatever. Is that on the website right now? Is there a public hearing for that?
Nope.
We're just gonna approve it tonight, but you want to have a public hearing on
This is the
chicken?
nuisance ordinance. They're
We
totally
are
different.
just now, this council is just now seeing this chicken ordinance tonight. We just got it in our packets.
So
I'm
when
just
I
saying
handed
that-
these out that had the recommendation,
Right, but it
wasn't
wasn't
in there?
it wasn't all the wording, the procedure, how it's gonna go down, getting an application, none of that stuff.
So you drew up something.
So I would like for you and everybody else to be able to look at this and the application that goes with it for 30 days, give comment, and then come back and have it be an action item and we approve it or not.
Okay,
It's,
that
it's a 30-day
all
opportunity for you guys to
ordinances?
read this.
That's the procedure with this one we're doing.
Shouldn't it be that way with all
No,
ordinances that
This
it
is a
changes? And why
nuisance
not?
ordinance.
What does it matter?
It
If
makes
an
a lot
ordinance,
of
it could be
So move
changed.
on.
There's a lot. But that's it, it is for this.
You have to differ on that from their comments.
Mhm.
That's what it's listed as.
Well, it's under new business, it's not an action item tonight, so regardless, we have 30 days to figure out what's gonna happen with it.
Okay.
So what, I guess, what is our action on this?
I have no problem with publishing, putting it online.
Okay.
If you want an ad in the paper to say that it's online, we could do that too. Just so
I just think
we make the
we need to
effort
get
that
it out
everybody has right to comment.
Okay.
We'll get mired in bureaucracy and hold everything up, I'm sure.
So what are we gonna do with the people that don't have internet and that?
So that's
Are you gonna
right.
mail it or?
Absolutely, I understand your question.
So you're gonna mail it to them?
No. They have an opportunity to come in and ask for it over the counter.
How do they know if they don't hear about it?
That's why I said, we could put an ad in the paper so they would
If
have
they
that
don't get
opportunity.
the paper or read it right, sir.
Then they're
That's-
pretty
that's
disengaged in living
public-
here,
You
from my
inform the
perspective.
public.
And I'm
Well,
not,
I'm just wondering if
I'm
you
not
could.
about
That's
this.
fine.
I really
That's
get
it.
the side there. I really do. One-sided.
Suzie?
I would like to see that this moves on. You guys are kind of stalling, you know, we're kind of getting into it here, and this is not a positive approach right now.
Thank you.
I have to agree that this should be posted on the village website so everybody can see it, pros and cons, and then go from there. That's just my thought.
I agree 100%.
Absolutely.
Next.
Next.
Okay. We're at action items. Approve ordinance number 3 of 2015-16, water run advisory.
All this is actually, this is what we talked about last month, but all it did is add in H. If the council so chooses to credit accounts during the run water advisory, it's the formula for crediting. That's all, that's the only changes, so.
Which was done last year.
This formula was last year's formula, we came up with it last year, everybody said it, Sam, the other president, Rob Tyler, and myself. Everybody.
Understood.
So if there's no questions about it, I would make the motion to accept the ordinance number 3 of 2015-16, an ordinance to add new subsection to chapter 2, section 2.110 of the Village of Central Lake Code concerning utility billing.
No support.
Motion to support by Zelenak. Any further discussion? All in favor of the, roll call.
Talbot,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Zelenak.
Yes.
Yes. Approve recommendations for DPW vacation time. I think 2 meetings ago, Sam asked if they could be compensated for vacation time that they were not able to use because of our water situation this winter. I've looked at it. Jeff did not have any days coming. Sam had 10.5 days available. Steve had 2.5 days available. And I'm recommending to the council to give Sam a week and give Steve a day to compensate for working very hard this winter in pretty brutal conditions. Sub-0 degree days, and
So,
trying to keep our water running in the village.
so this is more a bonus than it is vacation time.
It's,
Can't be, they're not getting paid. They were supposed to get vacation and they had to pay work instead.
Part of the job.
So that's part of their job. And they're on call 24 hours a day.
You're asking.
I think
You're
they
not-
should-
You're preaching to the choir on my belief of it.
I think they should get all of it.
further discussion?
The only thing that concerns me is what happens next year if it's another hard winter. Are we gonna pay unused vacation time? I don't know, I know the guys deserve it. I know they worked hard. I'm not sure I agree that they should be paid for vacation time.
They 365
The
days.
question that I went back with, I've asked a lot of people, I've talked with Charlevoix County, many other areas, and most of them have said the same thing, they wouldn't approve this. Now, I'm not saying, if they had vacation time in that was denied because of the hard times, or the hardship, the hard winters, then absolutely they should be paid for it. That wasn't the case. So that's all I got with it.
No, I got a feeling, I think that the vacation time that was available, I talked to Sam about it, and it very well may have been used, but it was their opinion that,
It's not,
and he is the supervisor.
right.
So I would say that it was
So then-
mandated, so I would think it's a valid claim.
In that question, then, if we're gonna consider paying them for, that's only half the vacation time that you say you have, why half and not all? I mean, why wouldn't we pay them
If
for
we
all of
can
it?
make
if
a
they truly
motion that
deserve
we
it?
pay for all of it,
What are you guys talking about? They don't even get that in construction.
I mean, that,
Yeah.
Or
there's
is
gotta
that
be
what
a
weather do?
stipulation for
I
that.
thought splitting the difference was being fair.
Zero.
I mean, at some point, they might have been able to get a day or two in that time period, they could have taken as vacation. But they didn't ask, they chose to work. So that's why I said if we meet them halfway, it's a
we
little
be
under
good?
halfway
If they
actually.
didn't put in for a vacation, they shouldn't be paid for it.
Am I wrong, Sam, or was it that you
How do
didn't
you-
ask because you didn't wanna be,
They should be put
you
in
didn't wanna
30,
be
40
taking the
days
time
before.
off when you thought you should be working?
Let me clear a few things up. Larry, what date did you go to Florida, do you remember?
February 4th, came back to 12.
The 4th?
Mhm.
Okay, I'd come to Larry just before the 4th and said, we got an issue, we might have to do a water run. But I also went to Larry and said, Larry, I got a lot of vacation days, and Larry said, let me know the days you're taking off. Now we're where we're at now. I had already told Larry we had a lot of vacation days. Somebody was gonna try to take them off. We chose, as soon as Larry left, of course, the water started freezing up. And I chose to work instead of getting the people the water instead of taking the vacation days. That's all.
That's the way I understood it, that it was.
And I'm sure Larry will tell you, I talked to him
To
out
pay
here.
for.
I got a question. Not to interrupt again, I'll raise my hand.
Okay.
I've worked construction, I've worked at the foundry, I've worked at different trades. What he's asking for is ungodly, outrageous in my book. You have to put in 30 days or longer to get a vacation days anymore. So if he talked to you in February about it, it would have been in the March when he was asking for the vacation days. So you gotta have a procedure like the one young lady's saying down at the end of the table, some kind of guidelines
Well, we
to
do.
look over these supervisors.
We do. This is a
And we're
special request.
circumventing it, yeah.
Well, I don't see a
We're not
special
changing
request.
It's a procedure,
We're
we're
not
just
asking
asking for a minute to make an exception. And I think under the circumstances, the exception's more.
What do we do with the other employees who did use theirs because they were told to use them or lose them?
They had the same option too.
He had the same option,
Yeah, they all do.
but he worked because of the village needed them.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, well,
So if Sam was to go ahead and apply for his time off and in February, January, it took his week and Steve did too, or whatever, and we get a sub-zero freeze and everybody's water's freezing up, they call Sam, sorry, Sam's on vacation, or what's the public gonna do?
We're second in command.
You gonna fix it yourself, Jerry?
Where's second in command?
Charlevoix County
Sam
allows
runs this-
vacation in the wintertime. They do not.
Neither does Ann.
There you go. You never gave me no vacation.
I mean, I know these guys deserve it, and I know they've worked hard. I'm an advocate that they should never lose their vacation time, period. We should find a way that they don't lose that. But I don't think we should be circumventing our policy that we have in place right now. I would be more in favor of saying, let's give them 5 days extra this next year. If they use them, great, they got 5 days they could use. But we're expelling money, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know,
don't know either.
This is
That's what we're talking
just a
about.
sticky wicket one, I don't,
What would you do if they cut your vacation time? You agreed to it, and you couldn't get your vacation time because of your work.
but that in itself is the question, in my opinion. We have a policy that says it's, I believe it's 30 days it's supposed to be turned in by. We know that never works, there's extenuating service. But no vacation was requested in any of that time, so they were never denied vacation. They chose not to take it.
Because of the weather. He
No.
said he.
No, he talked with me and said, asked for it.
Okay, now see that, I wasn't aware of that until
Yeah, he
5
said
minutes
he
ago when
asked
Sam
for
said.
it.
So
That's all I,
That's,
Well, that's why I went back to the beginning here on this
Okay.
issue, guys.
and I
So-
think that's what
did you
makes
deny
this
their
different
vacation?
circumstances.
I said, fine, let me know when you're leaving. And he never left, because water started to freeze.
Well, maybe the policy needs to say something like in the winter, you don't take your vacation days for exactly those emergency reasons, and ideally he takes them
And
in
then-
the summer and we don't run into this situation again, but right now we have a situation that needs addressed.
If you change it to something like that, I still won't get it, because we're only 3 people and I can't get away in the summer. We haven't even mowed Thurston Park yet, that's reality. The grass is 8 inches high sitting in the park right now. So you don't get, with only 3 people here,
We need more staff.
Yes, we do.
well, yeah, we don't need more staff.
I think Sam might agree, because this happened lots of years, it's happened a lot over years, Sam, right? Maybe, whatever you do this year, I think going forward, maybe you need to have a talk with Sam and the guys and come up with a vacation policy that works. Because what you have, and I'll admit it was there when I was there, doesn't work. So maybe it's time to really sit down and talk to them and come up with a policy that they're happy with, and you're happy with, and it truly works, so they can take the vacation time that they're promised.
But I will come back to this board and honestly tell this board, I've been in church for 14 years. The first year I've ever come to you to ask you for this. And I've given up 5 days, 7 days in the past, and never said a word.
But you said, you should, so if the policy they have doesn't work, it's time to take a good look at it.
So
Larry, can you read your figure again, please?
Sam had 10.5 days available to him, and Steve had 2.5 days.
So 5 for Sam and 1 for,
And that was my recommendation, we meet him halfway.
so now my question on them days, the 10.5 days that were unused, does that include or exclude the 5 that he gets paid for out?
That's excluding it.
So you had
I actually had
15 and a
15,
half
I
days
actually
you
had
didn't use.
15 and a half days
Okay,
of vacation left.
okay.
That's why I come back to ask you, to get paid for it. We're only 3 people.
I'm with Bill, this is a special circumstance, it's something we haven't run in before, and ideally we won't again, and I originally suggested a motion of paying all days, but I think a compromise is probably the best route to go.
I think
As
so.
Larry
I
suggests.
think Sam can handle the arrangement of the vacation time in his own department there, and come up with a solution and make a suggestion, you know, or make a recommendation to the board. Because if it's gonna be a continuing problem, then you're best to know when you can take the vacations or when you can't, so. I'd like to see us,
Under the circumstances, I agree with you, Bill, under the circumstances, not knowing that they did advise that they were gonna take vacation time, that would have been nice to know sooner. This could have been handled probably a lot quicker then, but.
My mistake.
Well, I'm gonna make the motion that we do as Larry suggests, and pay Sam 5 days, and Jeff the 1,
Steve the one,
Steve the 1, sorry.
I'll support it, let's get going here.
and moved and supported, any further discussion?
well, just that, that's not really what he asked for.
No. It isn't, I agree.
What did he ask for if it wasn't? He just wanted compensation for all of it? Is that what he was
That's
asking?
what he asked
Well,
for.
that was 2 months ago, that's what I originally said, yes. Can I be compensated out?
And again, when he spoke to me about it, it was this occasion only, because it was induced by the weather and, you know, the circumstances of the freezing water and one thing and another. And it wasn't understood that we were gonna change policy.
he's not asking us to change
And
policy.
he did say that he talked to Larry prior.
Even so, even if he's not asking, we should probably have the common sense, I think, to look at it and say, this is something that's
And
come
that's,
up now we need to address it.
that's what I asked
Okay.
too, is that Sam be given the prerogative of it,
I agree.
So now again.
coming up with a solution for the, so it doesn't have to go.
Right, now going back to your same question is, why only half of what he's
But
asking?
you'd have to rescind
Yeah,
it.
that's right, I think we should pay him.
Well,
I'm gonna
we have a
change my
motion on and a
motion.
support on the
Can
floor.
I change it to,
No, well, let's just vote it down,
Okay.
if that's what you
Okay.
want to do. Got a motion and a support to provide 5 days to Sam, 1 day
I'm gonna say no.
to Steve. All in favor of that motion?
No,
No.
Yeah, we got a roll call vote here anyway.
No.
Captain,
No.
Clark,
no,
Tyler.
No.
Zona,
No.
Riker.
No. Another motion?
I'll make a motion, we pay him what he's asked for.
And Steve.
And
Support.
Steve, yes. And she supported.
Okay, any further discussion on that motion? Roll call?
Tyler,
No.
Captain,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes,
Tyler,
Yes.
Zona.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much, folks. There's a lot to it.
Approve putting police car out for bid. It is ready to go. Need a motion to
I'd like to make a motion to
move
pay.
forward.
I'll support.
Motion from Chapman, supported by Zelenak, to put the old police car out for bid. Do we have a minimum bid?
No, that's what I was gonna ask.
Scott, you have any idea what it's worth?
$1 million.
$1 million?
No. One thing, it is a 9-year police car. It's got just under 91,000 miles on it. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever, except for a little tiny piece of paint that kind of flicked off, but there's really no rust. When I did some research, it shows that it goes anywhere from about $3,000 to $5,000. And I'm probably in the same position that you guys are. The more we get out of it, the more we can put towards the new car. You know, when we first had talked about putting it up for sale, $3,000 would have been a good price because that's kind of where we were looking for that extra money to compensate what we've already saved up and stuff like that. Since that time, if you remember, the USDA came back and they cut our request, so now we had to come up with a little bit more. So, I mean, I'm all for the most we can get out of it, the better. It's just more money that goes back into the fund that actually pays for the stuff that's gonna, you know. And again, the new car is $41,000, we're paying $20,300 on that, so we already had $15,000 saved up, so, you know, unofficially short about $5,000 right now. Understanding that we know we have to pay a little bit more, so I would set a minimum bid probably, if you got a number, go ahead.
I
So-
started at 5.
I'd say about 4.
I started at 5, we got it set for a month, if it don't go, then drop it.
I mean, some of the options that we have is, you know, we can do the bid with a minimum bid, and if nothing happens, I mean, you know, I don't think we're desperate enough that we have to get rid of it tomorrow. It's all cleaned up, it's all shined, ready to go, it's sitting in the pole barn, I've got a couple of sheets over it, so it'll stay nice and,
Do I have a motion? I had one, but no minimum to
I'll
it.
make a motion to you're gonna just add that to that motion? or
Just
you're
add the minimum to it,
$5,000?
if that's what we want.
5,000.
5,000?
They came out, I guess.
Support.
Okay, motion to approve putting the old police car out for bid, minimum bid of 5, and the support. So any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed?
We wanna make sure that when we
Carried.
put this out for bid too, that in the bid, it has to be in the sealed envelopes, they have to come in, all the criteria, Rachel did that with the one truck once before, so she'll know how to write that up for us.
are you gonna put a time limit on it, or?
Oh, I'm sure we probably will, won't we, put it by next meeting?
I bet my next meeting, yeah,
And
we don't have
so
it.
they need to have things submitted by
So,
June.
day before the meeting.
June 10th.
And maybe you can consider,
You said
Is the next meeting day, yeah.
Then
So by noon on June 10th, it has to be submitted.
Yep.
Would it be something you'd consider as an action item next month, just to talk about it and make a decision then?
Yeah, we can put it on. Depends on what happens. If we get 3, 4 bids, we'll have an action item to accept the bids or not. But,
I think we get one, we gotta
yeah.
look at it. Yeah.
Okay, item D, the Chamber of Commerce has approached and requesting that we supply 6 porta potties for the car show and 6 porta potties for the 4th of July chamber events. It's $420 per event, 840 total. Last year you approved 4 and 4 for $600. So they were $75 a piece last year. They're $70 a piece this year. And the reason they were asking for more is that there were business complaints of people using them and their toilets were getting backed up and whatever. So the fact that we don't have public restrooms downtown area, and this is our way of contributing to fine events that have been going on long enough. So we can't donate money
To make a motion to do the porta potties for the amount of $840.
Been moved and supported. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, never mind. Roll call, please.
Bobbit,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yep.
Zelnit.
Yes.
Riker.
Yes. Item E, approval of VFW Memorial on the lot next to Alden State Bank.
Yes,
Mr. Moore?
I'm here. Got more.
I think you should know what the size of it is on it, and the inscription that we put on it. Those are suggestions. I should bring to your attention that under item D, or, I'm sorry, that is for not the VFW Memorial, it's for the Veterans Memorial. It's an inclusive thing as opposed to Veterans of Foreign War.
Okay.
Well, with that, I went through the country place at Memorial, and he went out of his way and done an excellent job.
I just
He outdid me, therefore I know he done it.
Well, it's right here for your inspection, and I can only tell you that when I refer to some of the items in there, we're talking about, this is styrofoam incidentally, so this is one of the benches. It's 4 feet by 18 inches by 18 inches high. These are the capstones that I'm referring to for the benches and for the incremental steps that you see going up. Those are 6 inches thick, and they would provide a surface for the inscription of those particular service people that want to purchase and help pay for this memorial. That's also true of the promenade here, which would be, there's a correction, that should be 4 feet wide rather than 3.5. And those would be white bricks. This is all a recommendation and a suggestion. This is not carved in stone yet. So, anyway, this promenade would be the bricks that would be inscribed and paid for by those individuals that want to contribute to the monument. This represents the 5 armed services, Army, Navy, Air Force, and so forth. Those would be bronze plaques on top of the, actually indented into and affixed to the placard up here, and this is a seal of the United States. I'm sorry I don't have more of the inscription that I'm hoping will be put on there. Do I have a minute to read that?
Sure.
All right. Now, the first part of it, I should give credit to the original author, the first 8 words, Ernest Hemingway, you might have heard of him. Anyway, I took it from there. Many of our veterans are part of the earth now, and the earth can never be conquered, for the earth endures forever. It will outlive all systems of tyranny. We shall not forget those who served with honor in the struggle and heavy cost for liberty and freedom, which was not given, but attained through their total commitment to the United States of America. So, but that's up for grabs too. Anybody wants to change that, they're welcome to it.
Along with that, that man spent a lot of time on that, doing that. He just didn't do it overnight. He thought about it all.
Did you make this?
Yes, I made that.
Made all this?
He's real good.
Well, I used to be, I'm an artist, and I designed exhibits and so forth. The flag is a little bit out of proportion there to the rest of it. It's actually to be a little bit smaller. That's 18 feet high. For those of you that don't have the description, this begins at 2 feet and works up to 6 feet high. And I thought a planter would be appropriate in the front, since we're talking about a lot of the veterans who aren't with us anymore. This would have a small flood on the placard here, the inscription on the stone rather, and another one behind it, which would illuminate the flag.
Mr. Moore, what's the dimensions of it all from front to back and all? How much land space do you need? Is that this?
Oh, God bless you. Where'd that come from?
So is this,
Here's
is
this.
it your maquette? That is, what is it 15 feet long by
That's 18 and a half feet deep and 18 feet wide.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I have this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see it right there. Okay, I was looking at this map and didn't see it. Thank you.
All right. Do you have any other questions? Happy to answer. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, it's a beautiful design. My concern is about the children who want to take the chance to run up and down those steps that are 6 feet off the ground.
They have the same problem down in Bel Air. They have a sign there that said, please respect this, etc., and so forth. And children don't.
They don't.
do that. Well, the kids do respect it. I mean,
Yeah.
we're saying,
Yeah.
please don't.
Right.
And mom and dad tell her little squirts. No way.
Just thinking of it from a liability point of view.
Yeah,
for the
there's
village.
always a problem with anything public, even an 18-inch high bench, you know.
True.
You know. But it is a valid point. I thought about it a lot. I thought, well, what do you do to stay on a flat surface?
Unless you could put railing around that, then I know that would change your design.
Well, no, that wouldn't hurt. That wouldn't hurt. But they, kids being kids, they go under the rail, over there, and they play on the rail. I don't know.
So the issue for the council, I think, here is whether or not we approve of what they're proposing, and do we want to give them that lot? We would still own the lot, but we allow them to use it for this purpose, so.
I'd have a couple of questions yet myself on some of this. When we asked for more to come in, this is great, this helped a lot, but the things that I'm not seeing is what are the proposed cost of installing electric to this? Is, the guy last month said that we would be asked for, the electrical and the maintenance cost of this, so where's the estimated cost for that?
No idea. I have no idea.
So I think that would be something to look at, and then I would also start to think that I know the DDA at one time and had thought of putting public restrooms on that lot. And so maybe, since we have a DDA and planning commission, they should look at this and make a recommendation to us.
Well, there's been talk too of having, village offices on that lot, and that, that's a prime location, and I
I
know
think this
that
is a wonderful project. I just wonder if it should go to the planning commission and have them make a recommendation to us. That's what they're there for.
I'd be down with that. I'd be down with that.
that,
Be done with it.
yes, send this out to the planning commission and let them make a recommendation?
I'll make the motion to do that.
And planning commission also has a thing about side setbacks too.
Right.
What's the width of that lot?
Yeah.
That lot's 25 feet,
10-foot
25 feet wide?
So
I'll make the motion to send this to the planning commission for review and recommendation.
I'd second that.
Okay.
Do we want them to consider the bathrooms as well?
that would be
Well,
bad.
I guess I want them to,
I think we need to figure out I'm making the motion that we send this VFW memorial issue to the planning commission, and the planning commission, they could make the decision to incorporate the bathrooms or a new village office or the memorial or whatever. I just want this to go to them.
Let them look at this and make a
Yes.
decision, is this what you want on that lot?
Yes.
There won't be no bathrooms,
No bathrooms?
no bathrooms.
Okay.
I've seen many of the bathrooms. Can anybody here find a bathroom that's not a destruction item? Every one of them. I don't think that was the problem. There's somebody's gotta clean it,
on this.
we don't want it.
Okay, we got a motion then
Yeah, let's have a
to
motion.
forward this back to the planning commission.
Big pardon?
We're gonna forward this back to the planning commission for their recommendation. And then we should have that by our next meeting. So they meet before we do. So we're gonna postpone you another month. I think, if they pass this motion.
Well,
In that, can we
I've
get
seen a
I
lot
was
of
just
stuff.
gonna say that, can I add to that somewhere there's incorporated cost as to what the village may incur?
Well, it's gonna take about 40,000 just to get it going.
Of the village money?
And then,
No, they're looking good for donations. They're gonna finance this, from my understanding.
right, and
Right, but
then
once it's installed, it's
Once
the
it's
village
installed.
who's gonna have to pay for whatever.
well, no, we're still collecting on bricks.
No, I mean, once the thing is installed, it would be the village's responsibility to maintain it or manage the electricity, pay for the electricity? Okay.
But, we want it where people can see it, not in the back, forest someplace. We're doing it for the veterans. They need some respect.
It's a great project, great project.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That was really cool, Mr. Morgan. You nailed it.
Thanks for your time.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to send it back to the planning commission requesting that some kind of cost be established for maintaining this once it's built. They are not asking for any money from us to initiate and build it. Any further discussion from the board? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has carried. We have the gas bills from the township for several years, where we haven't paid our 10%. And they're requesting that from us.
What? What are you gonna ask me, Melissa?
Nothing.
The township opted not to remove anything from the top of it. The result voted 4-1.
Got it.
Can you speak to the $1,000 plus there, what,
Well, the township board felt that the upgrade to the gas service on the other side of the building to their generator, you should be responsible for 10% of that cost.
okay, that's 10% of the generator too?
It was originally $10,000 to do the upgrade to the gas service,
Just for the gas line?
just for the gas service.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, is that,
It went to a vote at last month's meeting, and it was a 4-1 vote that the township should pay, or the village should pay for it.
I look at this,
they
and
got
I
down
don't
here as
agree.
gas fee.
I don't agree that we should be paying that, and I would agree to every other one of them, but I wouldn't agree to paying that.
$1,000.
The $1,000, no. I don't think.
Well,
I
we
don't
didn't
think
have any
that-
say in it. I mean,
it's not as though, if,
It was a 4-1 vote.
no, did they come to us before the upgrade and say, we want to upgrade, what do you think? And we said, yes, do we?
You know, I can't speak for boards past.
Right.
All I can speak for is what went on at our meeting that night.
but you know what I'm saying? I can see that we agreed to the 10% of the gas bill. But if they decide to do whatever tomorrow, are we gonna be liable for 10% of that too?
And I think if you read the actual lease agreement, and it speaks directly to.
To me, that's no different than me renting a house and 10 years down the road, I go ahead and vinyl side my house. Should I charge you, the renter, for vinyl siding that house? No. That's me. But
Well, that's kind of,
you could try.
it was a 4-to-1 vote at the township meeting.
Hold on. Hold on.
Guys, when you read the lease agreement from the township to the village, in the conveyance of lesser, second page, number 3, letter A, the leasee shall respectfully hold and enjoy leased premises, and then jump down to F, maintenance, repair, and housekeeping. Lesser shall provide to the leasee at no extra cost all maintenance, repair, and housekeeping services. So to me, that says we don't pay for that.
it's not maintenance repair, it's an upgrade, so.
But
I don't think we should pay it.
Okay, so we need a motion to pay $1,277.15. That excludes the 90% of that $1,101.79.
$1,277.15.
$1,277.15 would be our obligation.
And I make the motion that we pay $1,277.15.
Support, I heard Judy right now.
Supported. Any further discussion?
Take a motion.
Need a roll call vote?
Yes.
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 Yes, 2 cents, 12 cents, 7.
Good, Bill. You and me will both. We'll be together.
We need to,
We may have to start building offices in our DPW building.
That first day.
Sorry, Scott, your car is now outside.
yeah,
Bill and me will both.
Yeah.
We both got broad shoulders next week.
You got it.
okay, we need to approve, sorry folks, I'm getting late here. We need to approve sending delinquent water accounts to the county. I reported that in my report, to the total of $62,932.
I'll make that motion to send the delinquent water bills as presented.
Go support.
Been moved and supported. Any further discussion? I will say that it could be less than that if somebody comes in and pays before the end of the month, so. And I need no roll call. All in favor of this motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Sam's in dire straits for a line locator metal detector. He has a government price from one company,
Is that a Metro Tech, Sam?
Yes, sir.
and that figure was, if I can find it, 4,000 and something.
Oh man, it's not like a little $1.69, rub it on the ground.
No, it's not the metal detector you'll go by, trust me.
That was the
Maintenance of water.
Yep.
Streets or.
Well, actually, it could get split, I believe, in both then, can it?
Uh,
Sewer can grab some of that cost.
Physically, right now, I was gonna buy it all out of water. Because I gotta buy, I'm gonna buy a generator out of my sewer. So, that's why I was gonna do it that way.
We shouldn't have to pay sales tax though, should we?
No, the sales tax should come off that, Larry.
All right,
I see you put it on there.
$4,255, $4,255.
I'll make the motion to approve Sam buying a Metro Tech, as he was presented here for $44,255.
Support.
Then moved and supported. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, roll call vote, sorry.
Yes.
Batman?
Yes.
Yes.
Cash?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Action item number, letter I, planning commission sign ordinance. Somebody want to make a motion to?
I'll make a motion to ask the planning commission to review the sign ordinance in regards to temporary for sale signs, as requested by the business owners 3 months ago, 4 months ago. and to make a recommendation back to us. Really, and what we want to know and convey to them also is that all they're really looking for is can they even permit that they purchase for $100, give it 6 months to put a little larger sign. The concern that came back to me is, and I've talked with these business owners, is they were told they had to remove their sign because it was not conforming to our sign ordinance, but yet they tell me just down the road, hanging where the skating rink is, there's a 4x8 sheet of plywood that is a non-conforming sign. They were told they couldn't hang banners, yet they point out that our ball field has banners hanging all over it that are signs. I mean, I think at least the planning commission should look at it. We did our due diligence and said, there you go, let them come back to us with a recommendation.
No support.
Okay, been moved and supported, any further discussion?
Will the village write a letter or a memo to forward to the planning commission?
We can do that.
Okay.
Sure.
Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion? Say aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Committee's gonna be busy now.
Old business, brush cleanup, we spoke of that, first week of June. Have it by the side of the road. There'll be ads in the paper for that, I assume.
What did we do last time, Rachel? Did we run it or just put it on the
I
website?
think it was just on Facebook, website.
I think we got plenty of notice out with word right now and on the website. I don't,
Exactly, we hang it around town and all the different places, Facebook,
I
website.
think that's good enough.
No, we print up 12 copies, whatever, and just leave them around town.
It's taken care of. I don't think we need to do anything else with respect to that. Any further public comment? Yes, Sue.
I would like to thank the council. I believe you've all received your little packets that you put together, so you know what's happening and kind of what's going on. As you can see, that the 4th of July alone cost us $10,000, the chamber to put on the events. That's the fireworks. And the bouncy houses for the kids. That stuff is going to be down at Thurston Park, the bouncy houses and those type of events this year. So I'm really hoping that we have access down there to be able to get the stuff down there. I really want to thank Sam and Scott. Scott's got the road closed down for the car show. He's taking care of that for me. Sam has taken care of anything else, any other needs and stuff, and I, really appreciate, those guys stepping up there and helping us as they have done in the past. So, we're always looking for volunteers, so,
Joe's gonna be in the dunk tank this year, I heard.
so, anyways.
Clean your ears out too.
And you guys in your packet, if any of you have any questions, my number's there, just give me a call.
I will add, anybody else have anything? I will add with respect to the 4th of July, we checked with our insurance company, and the chamber was asking that we provide a rider for the bouncy houses or whatever, and we cannot do that. So we tried, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Our insurance cost us $801. Our insurance has really gone up this year.
Does your insurance cover the bouncy houses now?
No,
So in order to have the bouncy houses, we gotta be insured. So my question now is gonna be is, can we co-sponsor the bouncy houses and then our insurance will pick up? Oh, it has to be the entire event. Okay, well then that would kind of.
Can we call it the bouncy house event? I mean, it's all semantics.
Well, that's the thing, we gotta ask the insurance company how semantics plays out there.
we can get the rider through this company, and I was just trying to save some money.
Anybody have anything else? Thank you all for coming. Need a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Moved and supported by Bobby and Clark. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Yep, I just want to
See it there.
Okay, I'll be right behind you.
That's really good work.
How many have you got?
All right, how are you?
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, okay. See you though.
Our new one's all of it.
Don't leave. I have something for you in my office.